We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show. We're coming at you with a different angle on our yard here. There's the yurt you saw the other day, and then here's the outdoor bedroom along with the outdoor bath, glass roof, so you could bathe and shower under the stars. And this idea came about to have an outdoor bedroom when I was in the States. Although there's no chlorine out here, when I was showering in the United States, all the water and mist and the chlorine, I'd be in this box of just like my eyes would itch and stuff like that. And then one day I took a shower at a friend's house. It was actually Paul Neeson, who has an outdoor shower. And all of the mist would just go into the air. And it was just, you know, completely fresh air that you were breathing. I really liked that, and we created this. Well, today, I wanted to go deeper into the concept of healing spiritually from disease, or just being healthy spiritually. And this video came about, I was watching an interview the other night by a woman named Lissa Rankin, and she was talking about the placebo effect. And what she was stating was the placebo effect works 80% of the time. And what the placebo effect is you're not really taking like a pharmaceutical drug. You're actually taking a sugar pill to where you actually think that you're healing, that you're actually taking that, and you actually heal based off of that. And in this day, for a drug to get approved, it has to outdo the placebo effect. But the placebo effect is 80%. It's just crazy. So she was giving all these different examples. People would do knee surgery, and it would be a fake surgery, and their knee would get better. Fake chest surgeries. In the Rogaine clinical trials, people would grow hair back, and they weren't even taking the Rogaine product. It was a placebo. And then on the flip side, when somebody gets chemo, or if they're thinking they're getting chemo, their hair would fall out. People's colons became less inflamed. Warts would disappear. All from just taking the placebo effect, which is pretty much taking nothing. And so Lissa Rankin wanted to get down to the bottom of this. Why was this happening? Is it just the positive belief that makes this happen? Well, the discovery that she came to is actually, it's more about the love and care that your healthcare provider gives you. For example, when you go to the doctor, you're tended by nurses, and then you get to meet with the doctor, and all of those people believe 100% in what they're doing, and they actually believe that what they're going to give you is going to heal you. And this belief and the love given from this doctor is what she says is why this happens. And this Harvard researcher who is in charge of the placebo program there did a test to prove this, and all these people that had IBS, what they did was they told these people that they were given a placebo. They were going to give them the placebo. So they knew that they were getting something fake. And what happened was they still got better even when they knew it was a placebo. And so she came to the conclusion that why the actual healing happens is because when you're tended by nurses and you're loved and these people really believe what they're doing, all of a sudden it's like your health is in somebody else's hands, and you kind of just like have a sigh of relief, and it's like you could finally relax, and it's like, ah. And she goes on to say, like, one of the worst things that a doctor can do to somebody is saying that they have like a 5% chance to live within the next 5 years, because they actually believe that, and it's ridiculous. So back to this concept, what happens is the stress response is turned off, and the relaxation response is turned on. And the body has natural repair mechanisms. For example, when all of a sudden a protein breaks within our body knows how to repair that protein. Or for example, we're creating cancer cells every single day, and the body knows how to deal with them. However, when the stress response is on, these natural repair mechanisms are turned off, and this healing doesn't happen. It's like, almost like when you're in stress, the body doesn't know the difference whether you're being chased by a bear or whatnot. So the body doesn't really care about preventative care at that moment, and all of a sudden the blood gets taken from the GI tract and the reproductive areas, and it just goes straight to the muscle group so you can fight or flight or do whatever you need to do. And in today's day and age, with the 9-to-5 job scenario and other situations like this, people are having a minimum of 50 stress responses a day, up to 100 or more. So here we are, we're consistently in this stress state, and our natural repair mechanisms aren't in full effect. And this could be one of the reasons why there's so much disease out there, because our bodies aren't healing. Because we're seeing, when we go into that relaxation state, warts are disappearing, colons are becoming less inflamed. So she comes to the conclusion, which I think is really beautiful, is we need to, the medical community has to bring back the heart in medicine. And instead of having like these mandatory, okay, the doctor has to meet with this person within 7.5 minutes, and then go to the next, and then go to the next, with all these different rules. It's more about bringing back the love and the nurturing care to where we could turn off these stress responses and turn on the relaxation response. And me personally, I don't like to rely on other people. I like to take healing into my own hands. So a person with this information, they could do a couple of things. They can be like, okay, we can duplicate this placebo effect and maybe like hire someone who will give us the nurturing care and who thinks they know what they're doing and all these other things, to where we can actually get into more relaxed state. Now, me personally, this is where we're coming back to this spiritual focus stuff. I personally feel that we can do this focus work in order to get to this state and be healthy. So in today's day and age, we're going through crazy amounts of stress responses. We're dealing with a 9-to-5 job. Families have to go to, kids have to go to childcare. You're on the run, you're taking them here, you're taking them there, you're doing this, and it's just crazy non-stop. Now, someone who is proficient in these focus abilities, let's take a yogi monk somewhere in the Himalaya mountains, and who are really good with focus. If we were to put them in somebody's life who gets these 100 stress responses a day, they could literally live that same exact life and be relaxed the entire time with that focus work. I have literally seen videos where people have relaxed themselves through focus. They've been hooked up to a machine, then all of a sudden it's like, and then all of a sudden, almost like they're dead or something, because we can actually do the focus work, looking, feeling, and feel what is causing the stress. Why am I? You could like actually look and figure it out. So when you go in stress, your heart is beating fast. It's like this craziness. It's almost like you can't, it's hard to focus. But if you can actually feel the heart beating, take the deep breaths, relax, feel the body, feel the stress, we can actually, through focus, bring ourselves to a very, very relaxed state. Maybe I could tell you a little bit about my story, how I started to discover this type of focus work. Now, before I was on a 100% raw food diet, I didn't even know a spiritual life existed. I was the typical partying guy, having fun. I didn't know about anything. I didn't even know what yoga was. I didn't know anything. So what happened was I discovered the 100% raw food diet. And I did this for a year. I did some major crazy cleansing. I told people about the psyllium bentonite cleanse I did. And the 100% raw food diet, just by doing this alone, threw me into the spiritual world, into a spiritual lifestyle. It was unavoidable. And after I did that psyllium and bentonite cleanse, something happened to me for the first time that I've never experienced in my life. I started to get a vibration right here, and I had no idea what was going on. I would close my eyes, I would see weird things. It was just crazy stuff. So what I did was, I went to the bookstore and I said, where's the spiritual section? And I started buying all these different books, and I learned about focus and meditation. And as I started to do more of this focus work, I began to realize that there was this deep pain, like this misery within my being. For example, many of you may have experienced this when you're sitting there driving at your car and you're just like, miserable, in pain, and you're just like, oh, this sucks. And I wanted to get down to the bottom of this. Like, why is this happening? Why am I suffering here? And so what I thought was, okay, I'm going to like figure this out, and I'm going to look at that. And I put my entire focus on this misery and pain within my body. And the key with this focus work is to pinpoint it. Like, where is it within my body? It's not a physical pain, as we talked about, and this is probably even more painful than a physical pain. But it's like I would try to pinpoint it. It was like it's somewhere inside of me. So I would try to find out where it is. And then I would look at it and just be like, oh, just like the misery, the pain, and I would feel it and I would endure. And then all of a sudden, like I would just stare it down. And then as time went on, it started to dissipate. And then it would dissipate more and dissipate more and more until it completely left. I was like, whoa. And so what I did was like, okay, then I'll scan the rest of my spiritual body, and I would look for more, and I would do the same exact procedure here. And I would stare it down until it dissipated and completely went away. And I would keep doing this ongoing until all pain and misery was absolutely gone. And what was left? It was almost like absence of misery and pain. It was almost like this bliss. It was almost like this, like a, not so much this ongoing pressure that you didn't realize is there on an ongoing basis. And it's just like bliss. So there's almost like, what do you focus on now if there's no more pain? In this technique that I was doing, that I kind of came up with on my own, I started to focus on the nothingness that was there. I tried to stay there, and it was just like, it's like almost focusing on bliss. Concept that people don't really grasp, but it's really obvious. All of us are not here and now all the time. We're stuck in our head for the majority of the time. And we don't even actually see what is in front of us. And when we do this focus work, it enables us to be in the moment to where we can actually see what is happening. And a lot of you are probably saying, oh, I see what is in front of me all the time. Oh, there's the sun, there's the mountains, and everything like that. It doesn't really work that way. You might see them or whatever, but do you really see them? Because if you really saw them, if you were to like be here and now on an ongoing basis, it would be like a psychedelic trip. Like back in the days when you probably did in college or something, shrooms or something fun like that. And you'd be tripping out on every last aspect of this mere existence. The colors here. Do you see this green? This is crazy. I'm totally tripping out right now. It's a completely psychedelic world, and you would know this in and out if you were actually seeing what is in front of your face even 3 minutes straight. It's like I'm sitting here walking through space, and there's this live tree that's somehow, some way shooting up to the stars, and in this space there's this solid thing right here that I can touch, and then I feel it, and it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I'm totally tripping out right now on that color red over here on this flower. It's a psychedelic world out there, as you can see. And this focus work enables you to be in the midst of it all, feeling, seeing all of it to the very end. And these moments are the best moments of my life. And so I believe that this focus work is the key for mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. And this focus work has the ability to take the stress away. It's like you can get down to the bottom of this. So I hope you see where I'm coming from here, and I hope that this helped you guys out. And we'll keep on this thing. And this is Matt Monarch, and we'll see you next time at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.